Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you a build of the Nikita that I've been using quite a bit throughout Season 5 of Warzone so far. I use this gun as my sniper support, which is my preferred style of play, and I think this weapon fits that role really well. So I'm going to go through this attachment by attachment, and as we progress through the build I'll show some comparisons, kind of demonstrating the impact that it's having to the gun. Starting off, we'll focus more on like the recoil and ADS speed and things like that, and then once the gun is fully built out, we'll look at some damage, TTK, range, stats, things like that. And then finally, wrapping things up, I'll just throw in some gameplay footage of me using the weapon, kind of showing a variation of like medium, short, long range encounters, which I think will highlight how versatile this gun is, and really kind of show why this is such a good sniper support type gun if you're looking for something like that. Okay, so starting off with the muzzle, we are going to put on the MX silencer. So this is going to give you sound suppression so you don't show up on the map when you're shooting. It's also going to help out quite a bit with your recoil control, increase the damage range of the weapon, and then it's going to have a pretty negligible impact to both your ADS speed and your sprint to fire speed. Next is the barrel, and I'm using the Empress 613. So this is going to help the vertical recoil on the gun quite a bit, as well as improve the damage range and bullet velocity. And then again, pretty small impacts to ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and aim walking movement speed. For the stock, I am using the Zach MS, primarily just to help out a little bit more with that horizontal recoil pattern. When you compare the two, you'll notice that the left to right bounce on the recoil pattern is a little bit smoothed out when you add this attachment. And then the negatives, again, not a huge impact to the weapon, kind of the same stats that were with the previous attachments that we've looked at. The other one that's included with this is a negative to hipfire accuracy, but that's really not something I'm concerned with personally because I'm not ever planning to hipfire this gun for the most part. For the optic, I'm not going to go too much into this, kind of personal preference. For my sniper support type guns, I just like to use a standard red dot, so I stick with the slate reflector, which I like quite a bit. Moving on to the underbarrel, I am using the M1941 hand stop. Primarily what this is going to do is it's going to shrink the vertical recoil pattern just a little bit more, and then it also improves sprint to fire speed a little bit, negating some of the negatives that we've added so far. And then again, the hipfire accuracy penalty I'm not super concerned about. Next is the magazine, and I personally use the 40 round fast mag. So this is going to increase our reload speed as well as some more additional increases to our damage range and bullet velocity. However, this comes at the cost of a little bit of a hit to our recoil control. This is one that you might want to consider depending on how you play. One of the negatives of this gun is that it does go through a magazine fairly quickly, so if you do play quite a bit of quads, you might want to consider looking at the 60 round drum. However, you would lose out on that damage range and bullet velocity benefit. For the rear grip attachment, this is one I've kind of bounced around with and gone back and forth with, but I ended up just sticking with the grooved grip, primarily because I think it does the best job straightening out that recoil pattern, particularly after we added that magazine, that 40 round magazine that kind of messes up our recoil pattern again. So this one, the grooved grip will help kind of straighten that back out. However, if you're okay with that pattern or you're okay with the recoil as is and you want some more mobility, you might want to consider something like the taped grip instead. And then rounding things out with the last three. So the ammunition, I use lengthened just to increase that bullet velocity just a little bit more. For perk number 1, I use sleight of hand to increase the reload speed just a little bit more because this is sort of a smaller magazine and you do go through a magazine relatively quick. So I like that additional reload speed improvement. There are like the brace and the perfectionist perks for recoil control, but after testing, after all of the other attachments were added, I just really did not see these having a big impact to the recoil pattern. It looked almost the same, so I didn't really think those were worth it. So I went with sleight of hand for that reload speed. And then finally, the perk number 2. Again, all of these are not really useful at all, in my opinion. So I just use on hand for the equipment speed, dexterity speed, and then the aim down sight speed as well. All right, so that is the gun fully built now with all of the attachments that I'm using. Now we'll just do a final quick comparison of the base gun with no attachments compared to this gun to see the full impact of all of these attachments equipped. Now we're using true game data to take a look at some damage, time to kill, and range stats that they have in their system. So I've inputted my build in there, so that's what we're looking at here currently. And you can see that for base damage, we were getting a 38 damage to the head, 31 to the neck, 27 to the chest, and 26 to the stomach and limbs. And then if we look at the TTK chart over here, so this is set to full plated health, 300 health, with all shots to the chest. So if we scroll down on the graph here, I'm going to change that. I've got the just base level Nikita in orange to compare to, and then the gun that I built in this kind of pink purple color. So you can see up close, right up close, we're doing a 0.695 second time to kill, and that goes all the way out to about 46 meters where it's 0.735 seconds, and then it jumps up to 0.862 seconds. And then all the way out to 100 meters, it goes out to about a 0.9 seconds time to kill with chest shots. All right, so wrapping things up, I think this gun really excels in kind of that medium range area, but it's definitely viable in both short and long range encounters too, which kind of makes it that great option for like a sniper support type gun or just sort of an all-arounder if you're looking for something like that. So if you are looking for something like that, consider giving this a try and let me know if you like it or not. I think the one thing to keep in mind with this gun is the recoil. That's kind of the one thing it has going against it. So that might take a little bit of practice to getting used to if you're not used to using higher recoil type guns. But with the attachments that we've used, it's basically just a straight up and down line. We've kind of compensated for most of that horizontal bounce. So again, with a little bit of practice, you can get a pretty tight aim with it. Leaving it there, I'll show some in-game footage of me using this just so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. And thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Bye.
Gas is inbound. Survivor left. Keep your eyes peeled. Enemy UAV active. Enemy UAV active. Gas is inbound. 25 remaining. Dropping into the AO.